A wonderful love hello to all of you here for a new love tarot, a love oracle. And yes, you might be asking yourself, what's going on with him? With your counterpart, your desired partner, your heart person? Why is he or she leaving no relationship with me? What's holding him back? Why not? Why is it it's like a back and forth with runny eggs. And hardly does he come a little closer. Whoosh, he's gone again. Or maybe with one or the other. Did he also tell you, I don't want a relationship, just friendship? Oh no, a relationship is not for me. Something's off and you're asking yourself why. It all actually fits. You feel it. You notice there's more. There's an incredible attraction. But you also ask yourself, is the attraction only on my side? So today, let's take a look at that. Why? What's holding your counterpart back from entering into a committed partnership with you? Maybe it is also the one or the other, so that it may be a secret. So up to a certain radius. That the contact with you is being shown. But there's always this secret involved. Because we're looking into what is holding him or her back from entering into a committed partnership, a serious relationship with you. Dear ones, we are in the collective. Personal cards are gender neutral. That's your counterpart, male as well as female. And collective living, can't apply to everyone. You take out what resonates with you for your situation. And it always transforms it for you. And I also bring examples along. And you transform it, as I said, a very heartfelt love, a hug, a huge galactic thank you to all of you for your comments. And also to everyone who hasn't commented, you are here. And that you are all here is a huge gift for me. And for that, I thank you every day, again and again. Yes, I got this question from the collective as well. And you can feel free to ask questions again. Write for the collective in the comments like that. But I want to mention again, the cards, the energies, they want a clear, specific question for the collective. So, not like what happens if I stop taking it and what happens if I start taking it again. Yes? What happens? For yourself, for your counterpart. There are countless questions that arise there. That's way too superficial. So, just as an example now, if there's a question like that, as I said, please be very specific. For example, yes. If the issue has always been between you that he had contact with other women, then for example, the question, if I enter into a relationship with him again, will he cut off contact with other people? Refrain with other people. It also depends on whether you want to know something about him or about yourself. But anyone who has had a personal reading with me knows exactly how it goes. The process is, and we always manage to make it work, but especially for the collective, I always have to approach it a bit differently. So, but now I would say, let's go, let's get started. What's that? Then let's take them right away. When you fall out so beautifully, and I'm actually the one who draws the cards, not the jumper. But if they show up, I would of course love that. Okay, why does he keep withdrawing? Why can't one enter into a relationship with you? What is holding him back? Okay. What is holding him back? On the one hand, what's going on with him? What's happening inside him? Then we have the scythe. A burden, it's like this. Maybe it's also that he quickly manages to cut things off. Between you and him, the connection, this quickness that keeps coming up here, something keeps coming up here that is very quick, a reaction. Maybe it's also that he is completely relaxed. You have contact and a personal meeting, and suddenly, bam, out of nowhere comes a different reaction. What's going on now? Yeah, because something is bothering him. What it is, of course, this suddenness, what's really going on there, we're going to dive deep into it completely. What is bothering him or her? And yes, but that's definitely a very big topic. Yes. Then we also have the public. The public is the park. That's also a very big topic. That's this oops. I'm currently destroying everything because I always talk with my hands and feet. Also in the personal readings, I'm full of energy, always in the mix. Yeah, so this is about the public aspect. Something is always holding him back from making it public, which I mentioned earlier. Maybe it's about keeping the secret. Let's see. Maybe you've been in a relationship before. And the relationship was a certain radius. Up until then, you were the partner. But beyond that, no, always the secret and making excuses. Something was always here. And that's a really big topic. It has to do with the public for him. And that's true. It has to do with his environment. That's his environment. Very, very, very strong. These can be friends, family, and he always has this facade that he puts on repeatedly. Maybe for some people, it feels safer on the internet. So if you have contact and you think, wow, he's much more open when we write or send voice messages, text messages, whatever, there he is much more relaxed, much more laid back. But then when it's a personal meeting or something, you seem a bit uptight. Something is there. So there's definitely something lurking there with your special someone. But we also have movement. We have quite a bit of movement here from the person you're talking to. And a breakthrough is shown. We have speed here again. So something's off here. There's somehow nothing. So let me put it this way. Like what? Like bro and against. Once there's this bam, a reaction from the person you're talking to where you think, hello, what's going on now? And on the other side, inside him, because you know, I always see exactly in every single reading what's going on inside the person, inside the people. But regarding what's inside you, that's what is now showing on the outside. What is showing you from the outside, I would say, and that's also what's going on inside him right now. There is movement. Something is coming into motion really quickly, but it's something positive. There's a good feeling involved. And there's that movement again. I really have to take matters into my own hands. I have to do something. And again, there's movement. So we have no standstill here, no calm or anything like that inside him. No, there's really movement. What's still moving here? Let's take a look. Yeah, okay. Again and again, the withdrawal. Suddenly he keeps withdrawing again and again. Then you hear from him and maybe you don't see anything of him anymore. Relationship. It's like a gasping breath where you think, hey, should I bring you a breathing apparatus or an oxygen tent? I keep seeing that kind of reaction here. He also twists and turns and always tries, like the snake, in the sense to wriggle out, to sneak through somehow. Maybe he just can't get to the point. And when he gets to the point, it's like, bam. Something where you think, oops, that was really cold. But that's just his knee-jerk reaction. It's just that he doesn't really know what to do right now. He really likes to withdraw again and again. And there it is. That's where he feels safe. So this isolation, this withdrawal, which we talked about earlier, like I said, there's something to do with the internet. So yeah, for some of you, you know, these are examples, you adapt them for yourselves. Please keep in mind, even if you say, no, he's not on the internet at all, he doesn't have anything like that, no smartphone or anything like that, then it changes, then it's something different for you. That he can then perhaps make a phone call, a completely normal phone, a landline phone, whatever it is, that this is the area for you. Yes, definitely. We have the tower and he is lonely. He is incredibly lonely. And it's like this limitation that I mentioned earlier is shown again. So these boundaries, he can always has this one boundary that he doesn't cross. The boundary, which also concerns a relationship with you, but for himself, he has like his own limitation. And the limitation is also related to the fact that there are really entanglements involved. It could be another woman now. But it's not just another woman. That can also be family, friends. That's his environment. It definitely has to do with his surroundings. And there's quite a bit of toxic energy, I would say, that's also in his environment. And for him, it's also like that. Everything is so complicated, so difficult. And then it gets complicated, it gets difficult when it comes to the relationship. We're talking about the topic of relationships, getting involved with you, these complications, all these entanglements. And suddenly there's this movement. Wow, it feels so good, this positive movement and this good feeling. And then whoosh, these hands suddenly appear out of nowhere. Not everything is complicated. So many entanglements. And then because then something in reality comes up, get him or her back in again. But let's take a closer look at what's going on here. Especially, whether I can somehow get a movement going there from the tendency. And you all know that we're also going into the time. We're going into the time tendencies, but collectively, okay. And time is always time. The universe knows no time. Time is fluid. You always control the time. You all alone. Okay. So let's take a look. Oh, yes. Your sweetheart, your partner, is making things quite difficult for themselves. Basically, I have to smile to myself now. It's just the cards that I'm talking about. Oh, young one. You're making it so hard and complicated for yourself because really, there's nothing there. Where he actually sees a problem. He's creating the problems for himself. He has these difficulties because love is definitely there. So, love is absolutely there. Here's the thing, it hurts him too. He knows what he has sometimes thrown into your head. And with one or another, I see the withdrawal in communication. Too, it hurts him. So I say, like some of you do as well, yeah, then just reach out. Then just write. Just do it. But there we have the blockage again. That your partner is totally insecure. He doesn't know how. He's squirming. We have the snake here. We have the restlessness, this nervousness. He doesn't really know what to do, how to approach it the right way. Because he wants. But it's completely. These are those fears of contact. This is this. Straightforwardly addressing what it's all about. Yeah, he has attachments. He has clingings. These are his and her past issues. I mean, everyone has issues with their past. Me just like you. So everyone has them. But one or another addresses their issues and says, hey, okay, I'm aware of this. I'm just going to change it now. Because I have it completely in my own hands. But with him, it's like this. He's actually more or less running away. And he's also running away from love. So no matter what he has experienced, no matter what it was, I have wounds in love. So just touching on this, I have wounds in love. I keep withdrawing. We're at the question of why he or she isn't entering into a committed partnership with her. One or another has been in a relationship. You had been in a relationship before. And then there was this very abrupt end. Boom. A sudden stop. Just like that. And that was a knee-jerk reaction. I really had a knee-jerk reaction. That was with him. Yes. All of this, so much pressure has built up inside. These feelings for you, these changes, this, oh God, am I doing something wrong? Something must be off here. I'm going to lose her again. And that has built up, and also jealousy, even for one or another. And that has always been building up, piling up more and more, and then boom, the kettle burst. And then we have the knee-jerk reaction, that there's a separation or a goodbye, even if you were in the getting to know each other phase. Because he seems to stuff everything he has going on inside himself, touching his soul, in his psyche. His psyche is touched, that's what he's dealing with, the stuff he swallows down. And yes, and then, bam, he keeps withdrawing again, yes, and he's really sad. He's really not doing well, that's for sure. He can reach out, he can change all of that. Why isn't he entering into a relationship with you? It's also because he feels like you're going to jump when I tell you this. Like, you're just too good for him. You give warmth, you provide security, you offer confidence, understanding, and sex appeal. You have everything with you. You are warm. So this warmth that you give him, this caring nature too. And it's just to a certain extent a bit too much, something he can't handle. That's because he doesn't really know that warmth. And behind that, he also asks quite a lot, is that true? Isn't that true? Because he doesn't believe you. No, he just can't handle it. He can't handle it. And his biggest problem is with himself. He is his own problem. Not you, definitely not. Because you do it wonderfully, the way you are there, as I said. A thing or two, maybe a bit too much. That means when you have contact again, take out the dosage. Don't be too understanding. Don't ask too much about how he's doing. Just let him come to you. So no, how are you? And I can tell that you're not doing particularly well. Something's going on. Come on, tell me. Something like that. Or, hey, I'm doing this for you and I'm here for you. And just ask me. No problem at all. So this, breathe, pull back. Let him come. That means you might have always offered your help, as I said. And now you don't say anything at all when you have contact again. Why I say how you have contact is because I see the contact coming back between you two. When the contact is back, you just dial it down. If he wants to share something or wants to know something about you, then he asks you. Respond with, does he ask you? Asks. And then that you also reduce a bit the information, the amount of information. Keep it a bit shorter there too. That's where I have that moment with him. And then I have more of that activity in there. By the way, with him, it's also the case that he has very strong fears of loss. They will be shown to him again. Multitasking for. I don't necessarily have him lying around either. With him, it's also the case that you give so much, and he, as I mentioned earlier, feels that he can't give you or she can't give you what might make you happy, because I have the limitation there. I have a bit of that barrier where he feels like he can't do it. And that's what is also troubling him internally, what confuses him to some extent. Because he thinks, this can't be true, why can't I move forward here? And then he tends to withdraw and says, no relationship, nothing. Because you are something truly, truly wonderful for the other person. And that is really the deep love also with the game. And for him, it's too wonderful because he also sees for himself, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. And it's also the love that he is loved so openly and honestly. It's like for him, oh my God, if I get into this whole thing now, then someone else will come along because he is such a wonderful person. You get to know someone else and then it's gone. Then he's gone. Then I'll be replaced, swapped out. That's actually a topic like that. And so he tends to withdraw again and again with one or another. So as I said, this celebration, it could also be that you ended the relationship and say, well, one could actually start moving now. But then I kind of left him there, the selfishness. So if you've ended the whole thing, the relationship, then for him it's like the egoist, the little child that got hurt here, no, well, it kind of left me feeling a bit offended. But as I said, just mentioning it in passing, because my main point here is that he really has an issue with losing you again, not being able to give you everything, not being able to make you happy, because he doesn't know how. Maybe also this romantic base or something in that area. Or this understanding, maybe you've noticed it too. He wanted to be so empathetic at times, but it just didn't work. Because you thought a little more empathy would be really great from you and not so tactless. That's because he's overwhelmed by it. He can't handle it. That's because he was always so used to the hardness, coldness, and this tough exterior, something more radical. No, in his life, just don't do anything wrong. Don't show any more feelings, something like that. And there it is. So so that's a touch point for him where he really starts to panic. He wants to actually, but he can't put it into action. He doesn't know how to deal with it. This empathy completely being there for you. He can't really express himself there. And there it is, he sees you, and he can't give you everything. But I have the movement here, the activity. That's what I said right at the beginning. You have contact, right? The contact is there. And when the contact is there and here it comes, it has then gone more into feeling or even about the relationship or something like that. Smack gone. That's when he doesn't know how to argue anymore. That's how it is. No, I just can't do that. I can't give her everything she deserves. Because he really sees you as wonderful. I mean, he truly sees you as a treasure. And so the planet of happiness, so then this reaction comes. But then inside him here too, this movement is shown that it hurts him, the reaction, because then comes the heartache. Then it hurts. That's where the disappointment comes. The disappointment in oneself, what he has done, retreating again and again. He can't enter into the relationship, but then again, here comes the movement, the departure, this good feeling. And again, he has to take matters into his own hands now. Only he can change it. Because you are the treasure that is there. And he knows he has to do something. He has to change things. He has to work through his issues. And it's not just that he knows he has to do it, but he will also do it. Because I have that movement in there, because he knows on a conscious level, he knows it's wrong. And he has been fooling himself. Those are his own fears, false worries, false actions. He knows that if he doesn't know it yet, that's fine. 1 to 2 days feels like a week or a month to me for him to really reach that level of awareness. I would say that 1 or 2 days is a bit too short. But I'm in the week-month range here because I'm still a little bit delayed. But I have it completely, the walls to the good, I have it lying in the healing. And it deepens, it gets deeper and deeper. And it's about coming out of the withdrawal, the stress factor for him. I can't do that. It's increasingly about this determination. But I can, because I know that I love this woman, and there is this togetherness. He will also try to let his little facade crack a bit. And he needs a bit of support too. Needed just a little bit, because I feel a bit awkward about it here too. So, sorry. And there is this support because I see this togetherness between the two of you. But why he can't enter into the relationship, why he keeps running away, that's because he really is afraid on one hand that he can't give you what you deserve. You're probably saying, yeah, but why? He just needs to be himself. Just talk. Because talking isn't that simple either. Sometimes he's a bit dishonest. He's kind of beating around the bush here. Or he says nothing at all, and then bam, back to withdrawal. Something like that. And on the other hand, as I said, because he really sees you as a raw diamond, the huge gold nugget, the planet of happiness. And it's like this, wow, the woman is amazing. She's absolutely amazing. The whole vibe. Another one comes along, bam, he's gone. And that's actually his issue. He's really, really afraid of that. Because his self-esteem is actually pretty low. So pretty much at rock bottom. Yes. But we also have beautiful movements again. So from that perspective, it looks really good. We have movement. He notices it, he knows it. So as I said, even if he doesn't know it right now, he's coming in because I have this short section here, like this. Now we have the flowers, and it also means that he increasingly sees the beauty, and it always comes as a surprise to him. This surprising heart touch, and that he doesn't want to give you up. He hasn't let go of Lux at all, for sure, not after this collective reading. And that comes because, as I said earlier, I see the communication coming back between the two of you. Yes, well, how you approach the communication, that's completely up to you. But I definitely have him. He's also thinking about something because he really has a surprise for you. It could also be that he suddenly shows up at your door, or an invitation for you somehow, maybe something written or voice messages, but out of nowhere. Suddenly this invitation comes, this surprise. And yes, of course, he has already thought a bit about whether you even still want to, whether you would accept the invitation, but he's jumping over his own shadow. He will really try. So then we have the fish. And with the fish, it's also like this, that here is being set in motion because his inner self, his deepest self, is speaking to him or her. These touch points, it's also like this, he's letting go more of these material values. Whatever the issue is, he can't offer you everything. So in that direction, that's one of the things he's also dealing with. But it really is, this soul connection is very, very, very intense. No matter how long it is here, between the two of you, your connection, this bond between the two of you was never separated and cannot be separated either. If it gets separated, it might take a quarter, half an hour, and bam, it's back together. So a lot of feelings, that's what you've always kept hidden in this secrecy. But here, the feelings, the love will take the lead. My dear ones, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.